So, how good is Yukong? I'm actually very, very, very interested in this because from the previous video that I was like, Enviosity, he said that this character will buff crit rate and crit damage. So she could technically be like a 4-star Bronia, which is going to be cracked. So let's just jump straight into this.
Alright, so Yukong is confirmed, the new upcoming 4-star imaginary harmony character, and we're going to get her for free, so that's really nice since we really need a 4-star imaginary character.
So I can just try and get luocha and not have to worry about her because you're getting a free copy of her in any case. So that's actually quite good.
That's the only element that we don't have for free right now, and fortunately she's a good one. She is a support that actually kind of excels in breaking the enemy while giving a bunch of buffs to your teams. Okay, so let's take a look at her kit, shall we?
Oh, she's a bow user.
Emboldening Salvo basically gives Yukong 2 stack of Roaring Bowstring, and when she has Roaring Bowstring active, all allies gain an 80% attack buff. And every time an ally turns
all allies,
she loses 1 stack of Roaring Bowstring. At first glance, this skill might have a lot of number, but the downside is that this skill basically only lasts for 1 turn.
Oh, that's fine.
Because of this skill, I feel like she's going to be good to run on a double DPS team to make the most out of her buff because she has 2 Roaring Bowstring, right?
Yeah, okay.
This skill basically kind of defines Yukong, so let's talk about her other kits first to kind of fully understand how she works.
Okay.
Her ultimate Divine Kestrel is a single target damaging ability. She is the only Harmony unit that can do this right now. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
If she uses her ultimate while Roaring Bowstring is active, she will give all allies 28% crit rate and 65% crit damage.
That is insane.
Again, right? The number is insane, but it only lasts for 1 turn and for...
That is fine. With that 1 turn, that character can do massive damage. I mean, you throw that on... You have this character with like genuine. Fuck me, I said earlier, like on the previous video, that my genuine was hitting like 13,000 to like 17,000 depending on how lucky I get with the crits on a single target enemy. So you add in this, my god, is he hitting for more? My absolute fucking god, is he going to be broken?
Or 2 of your character basically. Looking at her kit, it seems like she wants to activate her skill first before you use her ultimate. If not, then the buff won't be activated, so yeah. Her talent definitely...
So you use your ult, then your skill, right? Right? Because your ult does the crit and crit damage, while your skill does the damage boost, so... I believe you could do it like with... I believe you can do skill and then ult, right? Don't think it really matters.
Here's 1 arrow is basically a basic attack buffing talent that increases her weak...
Additional imaginary damage, okay. And increase the toughness reduction of this attack, but what? Increase the toughness? Reducing damage of this attack by 100%. This effect can only be triggered again in turn. What the hell does that toughness reducing? No idea what that means.
Efficiency and the damage of her basic attack. It has a 1 turn cooldown, so you kind of want to alternate between...
like constellations is probably going to increase like duration of this by like as it is now like 1 turn. It's probably going to increase it by like so it lasts for like 2 turns slightly. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't. It's just going to make her like more valuable and want people to like wish on her banner like to get more copies of her. If her like constellations does increase the like turns that the buffs can last for. I mean, if it doesn't increase the turns, then what? Increase the like numbers by like what, 12%? I mean, 12% is actually quite good, but I mean, it's not really. You really wouldn't want to like really pull for those, just those numbers. Increasing the number of turns that the buffs last for, those would be excellent constellations.
Between her skill and her basic attack to make the use out of her kit. This is really good. It means that she's going to be an excellent imaginary breaker, which we actually kind of need right now.
Well, if you get lucky and you get wealth, he's perfect for like breaking imaginary weak. So, but I mean, wealth is a 5-star. It's expensive to build because 5 stars require more materials. You have to get lucky, and I mean, you don't really want to waste your like 300 full on standard banner for like wealth. I mean, there's Japard, perfect. He's all round very good. There's Bailu, because if you don't get luocha, then you'd rather want another healer. So, just my opinion.
Alright, now let's talk about Yukong as a unit. Her kit, in my opinion, is somewhat problematic. It seems like all of her kit relies on her stacks, which means it will only have one turn of duration for 2 characters. And you
Like, if her constellations increase the amount of like how long the buffs last for, like from 1 turn to 2 turns, then I mean, I don't see what the problem is. Because then she's already technically better than Asta. She's going to be on par, if not better, than Jinyu. What was her name? Tingyu? The fox lady. Probably gonna be better than her if it lasts for 2 turns, because it's technically it's 1 turn less than what Tingyun's thing lasts. But I mean, so what? Having such a big number increase on the skill and the ult is probably just still going to last for 1 turn. But I mean, Brownia's like ult only lasts for 1 turn as well, I think. And I mean, with that, I mean, it's you're basically unstoppable. Your damage increases dramatically.
You can't really choose where the buff lands, so you need to configure your team speed in order to make her the fastest character in the team, while your other DPS moves after her. This won't be too
So you want speed boots? Okay, good to know.
hard though, since she has 107 base speed, which is pretty
How much? 107. God, she's one of the fastest characters. It's actually not that bad. I mean, it scales up to 600 at level 8. Okay, it's kind of low. But I mean, she's not really supposed to be like attacking. If any of this, like, if her ult scales off of her own stuff, then I would probably want to build like crit damage with like massive substats of crit rate. Taunt.
pretty high. The only problem is that it's just the consistency, right? The consistency on whether the buffs will land on your DPS or not. Because
But it's random. Her skill looked like it went to everyone. It's the same with her ult.
of how speed works in this game, after the first turn, your turn order can get pretty jumbled up. So you're going to need some speed tuning in order to make the most
speed boots, couple of like speed stats, sorted. I mean, you don't need much else, do you?
use out of her. But her biggest downside is, of course, the duration of her buffs, right? Someone like
Constellations can make up for that.
2 to 3 turns of buff duration, while someone like Bronya basically has almost the same ultimate as her, but lasts for 2 turns. Well, let's not compare her to Bronya though, that won't be fair. Her Roaring Bowstring basically works almost the same like Asta's talent, that increases your team's attacks with stacks. So we're going to mostly compare her to Asta's talent here.
Okay.
Asta's talent at max stack will give your whole team a 70% attack buff.
Yeah, that's insane.
The difference with Yukong is that the next turn, Yukong's skill is just completely gone, while Asta can maintain most of that buff. If you use our skill with Asta and gain 5 stacks, for example, the next turn it will go down to 2 stacks. She auto attacks and then the buff will be at 4 stack, which is a solid 56% attack buff. So let's say in 4th turn you're going to do skill auto on both Yukong and Asta. Asta's attack buff is just going to stick way longer and in total will do more damage than Yukong's skill.
Granted, that will happen.
You also have the option of just not using Asta's skill and just keep auto-attacking on her for more.
But I mean, if you want to break an enemy's like defense, like weakness with Asta, I mean, I've stacked massive like break effect on Asta because I was going for like the meme, and oh my god, when she breaks. Because she's able to like hit so many times, you're able to break enemies' weaknesses so fast. because I stacked break effect, she hits. Now her attack is low. Her attack is very, very low, and her skill is also very low. But when she breaks, she does 16,000 on a crit. On a fucking crit. Oh my god, it's insane.
Points. So I feel like Yukong's biggest competitor here is going to be Asta.
Like, I don't think the break like hit like crits. I'm talking about all round damage. Like if like the whole skill is like damage with the break effect, and with just the base damage. If I get lucky on the crits, she hit 16,000. That was with Bronya's buff as well. I have to point that out. So yeah, she can get very strong if you want to build her.
But there's also a big downside to Asta is that she's going to lose a lot of her power when not facing a fire weak enemies.
Yes.
If you're asking, then why not just spam Yukong's skill? Well, that won't be realistic since she has her talent and you want to make sure that you use it, and you're just going to use too much skill point that the team is just not, it's impossible to run basically,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, okay, I see the problem.
Yukong's ultimate gives crit rate and crit damage for 1 turn compared to Asta's speed buff that lasts for 2 turns. Asta's speed buff when used on a 121 speed character, for example, on an 8 cycle battle, if you use her ultimate once every 3 turn, so this can easily be achieved with mashing cogs and energy regen rope, she can grant your DPS basically 2 extra turn.
Yeah.
Or your whole team basically, right? But not your whole team going to get 2 extra turn. Some of them is going to get 1 if you time your ultimate right after the DPS.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Well, Yukong can grant extra damage. Now, there's no clear cut on which one has more value here, but if you use Yukong...
It's the same, it's going to be the same thing as every other character. Some characters is better here than other characters. Like, sometimes you'd rather want like a hunt character here than you would want like an AoE character. Sometimes you'd rather want an AoE character instead of like a hunt character. Sometimes you'd want a shield character instead of a healing character, which is almost never, because you always want a healing character. Because my god, you need to heal. Breathe. But again, it's just situational. Sometimes you would want other characters more than certain other characters. So, I mean, sometimes you'd rather want the speed over the like crit damage and crit rate. Sometimes you'd rather want the crit rate and crit damage over the speed. It all just depends. I mean, if your character is fast enough, you don't need more speed. Then you'd rather want the damage. So it's just it all just depends on the situation.
Ultimate correctly, she should be giving your team way more damage. And not to mention, Yukong's ultimate can buff your whole team's ultimate damage, not just 2 of your DPS, so keep that in mind. Because of her ult giving her whole team the buffs as long as the roaring bowstring is active.
Okay.
So when it comes to ult, I have to say...
Oh, so you do want to ult first, okay.
Will give more utility while Yukong just gives straight up more damage. But Yukong might or might not have an energy issue here, and if she has it, you would want to run an energy rope on her. It's not too big of a deal, but something just to keep in mind. You need gold relic energy regen though. If it's not gold relic, don't even bother because it won't help her rotation. For light cone, I'm pretty sure something like Dance 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 is going to be the best here. And
no, the best light cone for her is going to be Bronia's light cone. And I mean, I have it because I got lucky. And instead of getting a character, I got a light cone on the standard banner. So at first I was very, very upset, but when after like a week or so, when I actually started looking into it, Bronia's light cone is cracked for any Harmony character. So, the best light cone for any Harmony character, point blank.
Since she's going to use her skill a lot, then something like Past...
Period, I meant period.
But I feel like Dance 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 or Carve the Moon is just going to be better. Maybe Planetary Rendezvous if we see an imaginary DPS down the line. But yeah, for now, I think Dance 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 is the best. Now, how strong will Yukong be? I think she is going to be in a level above Asta, just because Asta's buff is pretty bad when fighting a single enemy and a non-fire enemy. Compared to Tingyun though, I don't think Yukong is going to be stronger than Tingyun. If you run double DPS, maybe Yukong is a little bit stronger.
If her constellations increases the turns, then I would say that she is technically better, because not in terms of like skill point efficiency. I don't think any like Harmony character is gonna beat Tingyun, but in terms of like damage, I do believe that Yukong is going to be better in terms of like increasing characters like damage.
But for making a hyper carry team with 1 DPS, Tingyun is just going to be better. Tingyun's skill point efficiency, her ability to bank out skill points,
Exactly.
giving your DPS energy, the attack buff, benediction buff, speed. Man, I could keep on going here, but yeah, Yukong will most likely won't be as
I forgot that Tingyun increases character speed. Fuck.
valuable as Tingyun, but we'll have to see.
Right. It's her speed as well, because if you use benediction, if you unlock one of her talent things, traces, it increases her speed, right? I'm not sure anymore.
But for now though, that's it. And as usual, guys, stay broke and keep playing gacha games.
Oh fuck! Oh god! Nope. Go back. It's fine. It's fine. I did not actually mean to click on my video. Fuck. So let me know what you guys think, and if you guys think that she's actually like a good character or a bad character, and yeah, see you guys next time.